introduction time?
Yes, I believe it is. Starting with the leader.
Hi everyone, I am Joe. I play Luke Hammond, the Green Pit Viper Ranger, and the leader of the Dimension Storm team.
I'm James. I play Charlie, the yellow house cat ranger.
I'm Juan, outside the game, and in-game I'm Javier.
My name is Jay, and I am the lovely DM and host of this game. I play literally everybody else. And tonight, we will be having James do recap.
On session 9 of Power Rangers Dimension Storm, you got two rangers that are inside this dark barrier looking at their friend, not able to go back. Charlie can't go forward. And then a lot of Stingwingers started to approach. And the Stingwingers grabbed him and flew north towards the broken Terra Venture. And Luke and Javier were powerless to help their friend. They had to watch as the weakest member of the team got carried away by flying bugs. Luke and Javi were making their way through an apocalyptic city. Charlie woke up to meet a version of Bulk and Skull that were prison guards turned into ice and snow monsters. Skull was an ice monster and Bulk was a snow monster. Across from the cell was the Magna Defender, who had been there for God knows how long. He had lost his mind and was calling out to his lost son, Zika. Behind him was a version of... Spoiler alert, everyone. If you haven't watched the episode, go find it on Argonian J, that's Jay, not just the letter, on YouTube. But, spoiler alert, this is your chance. Anyway, behind him was a version of Tommy Oliver. Tommy was chained up. Everybody was just broken and just didn't know that there was any way of escaping. Charlie realized he had no lock in his cell. He could just open the gate and walk out, which was actually more terrifying than having a lock. Back to Luke and Javi, they put their winter gear on that Allie had packed and that Hayakawa had helped put together. There was dead bodies under the snow, and then the two saw a man up against a wall. He basically was like, hey, after all this time, you've come to save us. He didn't remember anything other than the event and what plastered him against the wall. Basically, he had been bound to wall by ice, snow, and magic. Terra Venture crashed, and evil monsters basically came and left, but one stayed and said everyone was his now. It was Axe. And he made him immortal and stuck him to the wall. He called him the devil from below, the ice demon. The man is connected to the snow and can ask if Charlie is alive, but it's going to take him some time, and he may not get a clear answer. So he basically was like, I'll look into that by asking the snow, but he directed them to go save someone. He tells Luke and Javi that he can hear this thing crying every night, and that he'll be in the stadium like labeled the zoo. So he sends them off on that way, and he gives them advice that if they can get out of there, or if they see the devil below, that they need to run. There's no telling what he'll do. Luke and Javi head west, infiltrating the stadium, being sneaky, but Stingwingers find them, and they fight the Stingwingers unmorphed because they still believe that if they morph, that energy signal will give off their location, and they'll have to fight Axe. Yeah, they beat the Stingwingers, and then they decide to head inside. Meanwhile, back in the cell, Charlie tries to escape after Axe leaves, and he trips, and then a golem comes and grabs Charlie. Charlie tells the truth, and he says that there's not really an escape pod. Basically, he lied earlier. Axe is like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. You're going to be lying to me. So he decides to read his mind with the Nemesis Drain, and he learns everything. And then now Charlie is legitimately scared because he feels like he's failed, and he didn't know that Axe was this powerful, and da-da-da-da-da. Magna Defender tries to save Charlie and talks to Axe. He's like, hey, take me instead. Leave the boy alone. I'll let you, beat the shit out of me or whatever. He gives Charlie his blaster / sword, and Axe calls Virgil. And Virgil's like, just sit tight, I'll be there in a couple of days or whatever. Anyway, Javi and Luke, they make their way to the inside of the stadium, and there's a big gorilla in the middle of the stadium, chained, cut lashes on his back, and he's crying, surrounded by 4 giant stones, which are the graves of his friends. Javi hops down, and they communicate with the gorilla and eventually come up with a plan to get the neck collar off. The gorilla is like trying to tell them about there's like an item that they need to go get. So Javi and Luke travel, and then they stop to eat. And while camping, they hear rattling around some dumpsters, and they find a cat. They give the cat some food, and everyone hears a loud boom. Luke has a vision and sees Hayakawa, Jiraiya, and Orion at the edge of the barrier, and Orion is punching the barrier, and he's created a crack. Charlie makes Axe mad. Tommy goads him into coming over to his cell, and he gets him to unleash the chains, and they escape. And Charlie gives Tommy the morpher that he had because they had previously talked about it, and this Tommy morphs, and he is a version of Lord Drakkon, which I don't know if Charlie fully understands that yet, but me as a player, yes. Anyway, Luke gets a vision of Charlie morphing, so now Luke knows that Charlie's alive. Luke grabs the cat and goes through the rubble to find the Galaxy Sword. Kai's skeleton's next to the sword. It calls out to Javi. He pulls the sword from the stone. It's epic. He gets a vision of how to morph, and he does. He says, "Go Galactic!" And Javi has a connection to the gorilla. And he morphs into the Galactic Blue Power Ranger. The team runs back to the zoo. Another boom is heard, and the team is fighting, and the boom means that Orion is making major cracks in the barrier. Javi holds the sword up, and the gorilla is healed. He's brought back to full strength. He holds his hand down, and they jump into his hand, and he says that he'll find Charlie, and then he Hulk jumps out of the zoo. Charlie, meanwhile, calls out to Bulk and Skull to get them to help as they try to escape Axe. They drag Psycho Blue into a cell, and they block his path. Drakkon and Charlie run out. We assume that Bulk and Skull have been annihilated, but now Drakkon and Charlie are in sort of like a dungeon trying to make their way out. And that's where we left on session 9.
We're going to start off with Charlie and Lord Drakkon. Not that you fully understand that yet, but just so there's no confusion.
I think he's Tommy, right? Like, I still don't know that. I mean, like, I've heard that name, but I don't know to match who he is with that name, so I'm just calling him Mr. Oliver.
You're following behind Lord Drakkon. As y'all continue to move, you come down these stairs, and then you make your way around, sharp and turn as y'all get to the big circular area in the center as Drakkon starts to look around.
Do you have any ideas, Mr. Oliver? There's a bunch of hallways. Please don't tell me we gotta split up.
No, splitting up would be dangerous. We need to stick together on this one. Of course, he would make it confusing, and he looks down at this blue stuff, and he's like, well, that's death, guaranteed. So just try not to fall in that. The center, that's probably a trap. It's too obvious.
What is that? Like a gelatinous cube or an ice cube?
So what you see below you is like this blue liquid stuff. Blue crystal liquid stuff moving around. And he's like, Axe is a maniac. This isn't going to be easy to figure out, but the center's definitely a trap. The rest, though, we're going to probably have to figure out on our own.
Is this your first time seeing this part of the you were in that cell the whole time, right?
As he's kneeling over looking at the blue crystal stuff. Yeah, I landed on Earth. Unfortunately, Virgil had control of Earth. Him and Axe jumped me, and next thing I knew, I was here.
I bet they use that Nemesis drain on you. It makes you lose your will to fight, and it makes you relive your darkest nightmares.
It's best if you don't let a Psycho Ranger get a hold of you. Unfortunately for them, I was stronger-willed. I had to keep Axe and Virgil from learning about the multiverse. But I can see that he got to you.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of talking, but my hand, I'm kind of holding my hand out, to kind of guard him from the blue stuff. I know he knows what he's doing, but I instinctively have my arm as a guard for to make sure if he goes forward, he's gonna hit my arm. And I'm just yeah, I'm not the strongest. I don't have the strongest will, I guess.
He kind of sees you putting your arm out to like hold him back from falling into the stuff, and he just like turns his helmet at you, and then you can see the helmet go up and down. Like he's just like, "What are you doing?"
I'm just like, I'm sorry. You're very close to the edge.
He stands back up. Well, we know a few things. It's time to move on. We'll just have to guess. We got three good guesses. The one to our right, the one across, and the one below us.
I can sense if there's living beings. Do you want me to try?
Go ahead.
All right. I call upon the power of Tabby.
You did not get it.
Oh man, sorry. I guess the dark aura is kind of clouding my vision.
That's fine. What about intuition?
Oh, I wouldn't trust that either.
All right. I guess we'll be just doing this in a more regular way then. And as y'all walk in here, you can see that there's really nothing there besides another above plate of ice.
What's with this ice?
It's probably just like the center. From what I can understand, Axe doesn't believe in staircases for the most part. He prefers to teleport to different floors. But if we get this wrong, we may end up somewhere else. May have to deal with more things, or it may lead us straight back to Axe into a trap. Just be guessing at this point.
It might be worth a shot.
Well, can't risk getting separated. So if we jump on it, we jump on it together.
Understood. That's how I got separated from my group.
Y'all approach, and y'all get on the thing together. And you are transported down to the room at the bottom right, and there doesn't really seem to be anything to it.
What the?
As Drakkon gets off, he starts to look around. All right, now this just doesn't make sense. But then again, what did I expect from a fucking lunatic?
All right, let's make sure we keep stepping on these things at the same time. And watch out, the floor looks kind of cracked right there.
Drakkon walks up to this little nudge. It's a little bit of a bit from a wall, and he's putting his hands on it. It looks like it used to be a door. I don't know. He's going to try to hit this wall here. He feels like it's got to be something in there. It's a bit of an indent. He hits this wall, and nothing really comes out of it. He's just like, well, worth a shot. And he's just like, I guess we just go back again until we get it right, unless you have any other ideas.
If we keep stepping on these different plates, maybe we'll teleport somewhere that different that gives us an escape.
Fair enough. And y'all jump back on the plate together. And I'm not going to move you. Y'all, or actually, I know I have to move y'all. So you'll end up back up here at the top. Yay, back at the top.
That's at least good. I tell him, I'm like, hey, at least he's not so much of a psychopath that when you go back over a teleporter, it takes you to a third random place.
I wouldn't count your luck with that. And y'all start to walk around. You'll get about halfway through around the circle whenever y'all start to hear quick footsteps coming from the place that y'all entered and from. Most likely Axe on his way.
Let's hurry. Let's hurry up down this hallway and then up this hallway.
So y'all quickly make it into here. Lord Drakkon grabs you rather quickly and pulls you across the side as you know who makes his way from the thing.
Oh shit! We gotta be quiet.
Yeah, Drakkon's just kind of like pulled you into the corner really quickly as Axe comes out, and he's looking around. He's got his axe in his hand, and he's very, very frustrated. He's not happy at all as he puts his two fingers to the side of his head as he starts to have a conversation. If you would like to listen in on this, you will need to roll alertness. If y'all are across a pit, everything hard to hear, but you managed to hear it pretty well. As you hear Axe is having a conversation with his brother, letting him know that Drakkon has gotten out. He goaded me. You know how he is. He just talked me up. No, it's not my fault. It has to do with that little scrawny one. I mean, I thought he was horrified at this point. Yellow snow and all that. But apparently, he's got a set of balls on him. I'll make sure to go for those first. You're still on your way, right? What do you mean? We can finally leave, find more. You always lacked vision, brother. I don't need your help. I'll do it myself. And he puts his ears down, and he's going to start to head up those stairs. And then once he's fully out of the area, And Drakkon gets his arm off of you as he starts to move forward up these stairs, hoping that it leads to something. And there is a panel here, but there is also a hallway to the left.
You want to risk going through that teleporter? What if it takes us straight to Axe?
It's hard to say. We could be leading ourselves into another trap. There is a hallway, but it's too dark to see down it. It's another guessing game, and I didn't catch anything of that conversation that he just had.
He was basically saying he called his brother, I think, and he was telling him that you'd escaped, and he was really mad at me, and he wants to do bad things to me, and so let's not get caught.
Fair enough. It's hard to say. I say we take the hallway.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
So y'all go in this hallway, and as y'all head out, it leads to a balcony that lets you look outside. And so when y'all go outside, y'all are on this balcony. Charlie, you look up and down, and you realize you're in a very tall cylindrical spire with chains coming down from it and into giant hooks into what appears to be a icy cavern, massive in scope. Ice and snow all at the bottom, what appears to be an underwater area also just completely frozen over, and y'all are really high up, almost to the top of this spire.
Oh my god.
So much for that. You think you could survive the jump?
I don't. I know cats always land on their feet, but I don't think I've ever. No sir, no sir.
All right. I could probably survive the jump, even with the weakened state that I'm in. But you can't make it.
You could survive that?
Yes.
I mean, maybe in my Power Ranger form. I mean, I have never really jumped that high before.
Given the current circumstances and my knowledge of powers, it's actually very fairly accurate to say that you couldn't survive even in your Morph state.
Okay.
So we're just going to have to go back around and try the teleporter.
If anything happens to me, I say you come back over here and jump.
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that. And as y'all head back in, you can hear the footsteps starting to circle around. Drakkon grabs you very quickly as he grabs you with him to hop on the teleporter.
Yeah.
And as y'all are coming through here, Charlie, you start to get a bit of a chill a little bit down your spine.
Oh man, it feels like a ghost just went through me.
There might be something up ahead. I hope you're ready for battle. It may not be Axe, or it could be Axe. Let's just prepare ourselves for whatever lies ahead.
All right, I'm ready.
Start to walk down this hallway. When Drakkon stops here, there is an ice golem right here. Yeah, that's not good. There might be more, but for now, all you see is the ice golem. Well, if Axe is just circling around, following in our footsteps, eventually he's going to go through that teleporter, or he's going to assume that we jumped. We don't got a lot of time. We either take it down, or we hope to God we can get past it quick enough before Axe catches up to us.
Let's fight this thing.
Lord Drakkon summons a dragon dagger from nowhere as he is ready to start combat.
The dragon dagger? Check this out. Kitty cat paws. I don't really say that, but I see him do that, and then I pull my weapons out.
So the ice golem prepares for combat as y'all two are both ready. And with that, we are going to head back to the guerrilla group as they are currently making their way through the city. And don't worry about your tokens. I'm just going to put down bubbles. So gorilla hopped out. Y'all are in his hand as he starts to make his way into town. And he stops here. And he opens his hand a little more so that way y'all can see him. And he just looks at y'all and just Javier can feel that he's asking him, where do y'all want to go?
He's gonna look at Luke and be like, "Where was the old man again?"
Luke will give directions to the best of his memory to where the old man stuck against the wall is.
So y'all try to direct him the best that you can. While y'all are moving through the city, I'm just going to go ahead and say, roll me an alertness, and depending on how high y'all roll, y'all will get there a lot quicker with not as many turnarounds or translations of the directions. Because you're telling the directions, Javier is translating, basically.
Hey!
You rolled really high. You rolled really high, so y'all are already off to a good start. So yeah, y'all really high, so y'all are accurately able to describe it to him. So y'all end up really like basically there. So y'all come back, and y'all had a whole night. The man has a giant ice shard through his shoulder and a bit of his torso. And attached to that giant shard appears to be a piece of clothing. That piece of clothing, y'all can probably recognize, is a piece of clothing that Charlie had on him whenever he was kidnapped.
Is the man still alive?
He's clinging to life. His eyes are currently closed, but y'all can kind of feel that he's still breathing a bit. Also, he said he was immortal.
Right. It couldn't
Immortal
be.
doesn't mean unkillable.
Right.
Yeah.
So his eyes are currently closed, but you can see him breathing. His eyes are just closed.
Luke's gonna drop down and get real close to him.
Okay.
And gently touch his uninjured shoulder.
As you do that, his eyes come alive, and he jerks back a little bit.
No, I'm sorry, not anymore. I can't take it.
Before he realizes that it's y'all and not Axe.
You came back. Why would you come back?
He said to.
Because we need to find our friend. And because you asked us to.
Ah, that's right. Sorry, my memory comes and goes. As for the snow, your friend is alive. And he's where the ice demon resides.
Can you direct us to where that is?
Like I said before, the ice demon that lives below.
So we're going under.
Yes. There should be a few places you could probably enter it deep down. And with the help of your friend there, you should be able to get down there pretty effectively.
So that chasm you were talking about earlier.
That's probably our best bet. Luke's gonna turn his attention back to the man. Is there anything at all that he can do to help?
To help the man,
Yes.
you could see him swallow a little bit.
Free me. Kill him. End the curse that was put upon this land. But I must warn you, don't look into his eyes. His horrible yellow eyes.
Luke just nods. He's gonna stand up from where he was squatting and just look at Javier. Let's find that guy. And find Charlie.
I'm gonna just nod. The call bubbles over.
Bubbles comes back down and lays down his right hand.
Where was it?
Luke will give directions as best he can, and before he gets up into the gorilla's hand, he just gently touches the man against the wall's shoulder again and gives it a light squeeze. We're going to kill that bastard.
Many have tried, but for the first time, I feel like it might actually happen.
And a frozen tear comes out of his right eye. And a bit of a smile as he feels like he's finally going to be free from the curse that has been afflicted on him for all these years.
Luke gets up on Bubbles and just directs as best he can.
And y'all make your way to the depths. Y'all look down at the depths, and Bubbles motions y'all to get up on his shoulder so he can use both hands and just to cling on tight. Javier, you don't have an issue staying on, being the ranger who owns the sword. Your feet are pretty much anchored,
Right.
so you have no issue with staying on.
Dramatically, like arms crossed, standing on his shoulders. Luke, you might want to hold on to me.
Luke just nods and wraps both arms around one of Javi's and squares himself.
And then the cat, as y'all are going down, turns to face away from Luke and looks down, just meow.
Right as Bubbles jumps down, it's like.
So they are starting to come down when Bubbles stops as he looks across the chasm on the opposite side and starts to look further down. It appears that the walls are moving a bit, fluttering, you could say.
Oh god.
Bubbles knows what this is, and Javier, he'll relate to you that there's just a bunch of fucking stingwingers coating these walls.
Bubbles, circumcise these bitches.
Just jumps instantly. No. So there are a few things that y'all can do, and give y'all some time to brainstorm how to get down there. Y'all do hear another really loud boom, a clash, bang, as that, and with a loud cracking to follow, it appears maybe one more solid hit, and this barrier is going to cave. And with that solid hit, everything kind of shakes, and some of the stingwingers start flying around. The ones that come up to go out of the depths don't really notice y'all or care, but there is still a lot of them.
Are there clear patches on the wall?
Y'all can look for clear patches. Javier, you will have advantage because you also have bubbles here to help you look as well.
Oh, Luke.
Man, Javier just really feeling this.
This is his episode.
So they didn't like the loud boom. Maybe if Bubbles just like punches the wall, it'll make the path easier as we go down.
I'm gonna relay it to Bubbles to punch the wall.
Bubbles punches this wall. He clears a pretty good path. It's gonna take him still some finesse, some ability to get around as he clings to certain parts of the walls and maneuvers through the big patches of stingwingers. It's a pretty wide gap. He really landed that attack. We'll say about 10 or so minutes of stealthily climbing down the walls. As y'all keep going further down, it gets colder and colder and colder than it was even up at the top. And y'all finally reach the bottom. This is what y'all see as y'all reach the bottom.
Oh, this
Oh.
motherfucker really watched Lord of the Rings and said yes.
The Spire.
He was like, that, but ice.
Oh god, Bubbles is just wrecking the spires, just like, and like, Axe, turn on the orb, they hit the fucking spire!
The second gorilla fist has hit the twin spire!
There's been a second gorilla fist.
Yeah, there's nothing but frozen ice underneath you, bits of snow here and there. So y'all get down, y'all look at that spire, and Luke, your head starts to hurt. You start to hurt and you close your eyes and you get flashes of Charlie walking around this icy dungeon with a shadowy figure attached to him, leading him around.
Oh.
You're not quite sure what the figure is. I would say it would probably shudder you because it's a silhouetted figure with a shield and a bladed weapon.
Luke physically cringes.
So you have that quick vision and your headache starts to cease away.
Charlie's in there. He's walking around with somebody. I don't know if that's the best news, though. We need to move.
Just gonna tell Bubbles to see if there's any way he could maybe pick up the pace to get us there faster.
Bubbles is a bit afraid.
Is it because of Axe?
You could feel that he is afraid of what might happen when Axe sees that he's out.
I'm gonna place my hand gently on the side of his head and be like, "Don't worry, we're here with you now. I won't let him get you."
You tell him this, and he feels better about it. He's still moving at a slower pace than what he was when he was above the depths.
I'm not gonna pressure him anymore. I'm just gonna let him go at his pace.
Yeah.
Still faster than if we were walking.
Are there any like ice outcroppings or like stalagmites that we could potentially kind of maneuver back and forth between for like greater cover, or is this just a wide open flat area?
There are big rocks and stuff that were frozen in this underwater cavern when Axe made his lair that are probably big enough for y'all. Maybe your Zords individually, but he might be able to fit behind some of them.
Luke's gonna communicate to let Javi know, to let Bubbles know, try to stick to cover as best as possible. That way, they will be less likely to notice us.
Hey, try to stay out of sight as much as we can.
So as y'all start to move forward slowly within cover, unfortunately, just how it was with Charlie, there is something that comes out of the snow.
Hello, boy.
And it is a slightly bigger ice golem. As he starts to come out of the ice underneath in the snow, even if you were within cover, he's basically there as a watchdog. So he's now appeared in front of you as he starts to roar. It is now up to y'all to decide how y'all want to handle this situation.
do we want to try to fight this thing, or do we want to try to outrun it?
I don't know. It's kind of ice and on ice. I feel like he'd probably just have like an advantage, maybe, and like in terms of like catching us. Plus, Bubbles is still scared about trying to make it to the tower anyway.
Yeah,
He might rather take this on than go to the tower.
fair enough.
I really want Bubbles to shatter this thing.
I guess let's do this then. Tap into the Fury, Nature Fury, Pit Viper.
There you go.
Javier's just like, yes, Bubbles. Like now you can finally show them like what it means for you to be off that collar.
So you will have control of Bubbles for this. So pull up his sheet.
I already have it up. I'm just gonna try to punch him.
The ice golem's toughness is 17. God, that's not a good way to.
That's not a good way to start. He's getting the swing of things. All right, he was locked up. Give him a minute.
He's still afraid. Yeah, I got you. He's still afraid. So he misses on his first attempt. The ice golem will now go to swing with his ice attack, his ice fist attack. What's the toughness of Bubbles?
19.
So he misses 2, unfortunately, and is now back to Bubbles.
All right, I'm gonna have him fucking beat the shit out of this thing. All right, I'm calming Bo. I'm trying to talk to Bo and be like, don't worry. It's been a while. We got this.
Damn, that's. Oh fuck. Okay, so I knew I should have. I'm gonna give you this one because this is on me. I made it bigger, but so how does Bubbles kill this thing?
Bubbles finally realizing that he's no longer chained and that he can finally go ape shit. he's gonna straight up just like beat his chest and then like grab it by its head and then just crush it like with both hands. I'm just gonna like be patting and rubbing his head. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. This is me, Guerrero.
One shot because I didn't upgrade its health. That's on me, like I said.
No, this was perfect for, like to get Bubbles in his mojo again.
So you rub his head and everything, and he beats his chest, and he lets out a loud roar. And with that loud roar, we transfer to Charlie and his edgy friend.
Did we hear that roar?
Yes, that's where we're picking up. You hear the roar.
Oh, geez, there's more monsters outside. Oh, geez, Tommy.
Shut up, Charlie. We gotta go to the multiverse, Charlie.
Oh, whatever you say, Mr. Oliver.
Quick 10-minute adventure.
So you hear the roar, and you say, "Oh, so do you say something like, oh, there's more monsters outside?" Do you say anything like that?
Yeah, I do.
And Drakken's just like, "That's not a monster."
Interesting. Like, that makes me feel a little better. I'm going to pull out my kitty cat paws
Go ahead.
and paw claws, and I'm going to scratch. I'm going to try to scratch this giant ice golem.
It's a toughness of 17.
Oh! I rolled a
Just not-
3.
It's not your day. It's not your day.
I started slapping at it like...
Yeah.
Tommy's looking at me like, what the this guy's a Power Ranger?
Drakkon with his dragon dagger ready is going to first off move up so he's within range, and then he is going to pull out his dragon dagger. Damn, he didn't fucking hit it either. Well, we'll say y'all are hitting it, but it's just not doing anything quite yet. As you are flusterly hitting it with your claws, Drakkon goes in with the dragon dagger and doesn't seem to be doing anything. The golem, knowing who the bigger threat is, lucky for you, is gonna go for Lord Drakkon with its ice fist. So the ice golem goes to swing on Drakkon.
Oh my god.
God, okay, yeah.
Critical success.
Lord Drakken's gonna die before we get to him.
So Drakkon takes 2 health, and because the critical gets thrown back against the wall.
Okay, I see that. So I do my heart of the team thing that I do.
Go ahead.
And whenever I see Mr. Oliver getting thrown up against the wall, I kind of like stop attacking and I look at him. I say, "Get up! You're our only hope to get out of here." And like my words like resonate like with power and give him a 1 upshift in his next attack.
That's going to work out well for what I have planned. He's going to feeling more invigorated due to you. He's going to run up. He is then going to activate Zeo power up because he has stolen and integrated the Zeo Morpher and the Zeo powers into this form. He is able to tap into the infinite potential of the Zeo powers. You already gave him an upshift. Any upshifts gained while using this power do stack, so now he has a 2 upshift, and he has advantage. And he has to spend 2 personal power to use this. Ah, yes. So with your cry for the heart of the team, and Lord Drakkon powering him up with the power of the Zeo crystals within his Black Dragon powers, lands a critical success. He gets back up and he runs in with the Dragon Dagger, and it just does some quick success slashes as this ice golem starts to explode with green energy as it shatters all over the place, killing it. As Lord Drakkon finishes the ice golem, he turns to you, Charlie. Well, that worked.
That was amazing. What'd you just do?
Well, I have the power of the Zeo crystals. I was able to power myself up, but something pushed me further. It wasn't you, was it?
I mean, I just try to be like a friendly cheerleader for my team and whoever I'm fighting alongside.
Well, it did something. It pushed me further. I was able to take it down in one hit because of you.
We're gonna get out of here. I know it.
Yeah, we need to keep moving. He could catch up to us at any time. Y'all start to move down this hallway, and when y'all get to here, y'all can see that it's the other entrance y'all thought about taking as it leads you back to the circle. You see some stairs going downwards. Well, that leads us back to the circle. But these stairs down here, well, I guess it can't hurt. The golem was here. Might be worth checking out. As he starts to go down the stairs.
I follow. What is this?
Just a blue layer of ice. Don't know if we should touch it or not. It could be a trap.
Should we? You said that the thing in the center of that room was a trap.
Yeah, but some of these panels seem to be teleporting us in places all over the Spire. But we haven't seen one like this yet. They all seem to be very similar. This one's different.
I don't think we should try to fight Axe unless my team shows up. But if he shows up behind us, we're gonna be stuck. So let's step on this thing together, maybe.
Yeah, if we're gonna do it, we do it together. And as much as I hate to say it, you're probably right. I wasn't able to take on Axe and Virgil together. I don't know if I could take Axe at this point. Well, here goes nothing. Y'all teleport down, and you start to walk forward. And y'all see the statues, the ice throne, all that.
This has got to be his throne room. Oh man.
Drakkon immediately just starts taking off if that's the case. Within the sides of the throne are several different weapons piercing out from the back and between the ice, and Dragon reaches for a piece of giant ice shard and pulls it out and then smashes it on the ground. As he pulls out, Charlie wouldn't recognize this, but for the sake of the game, this is a white and gold sword that appears to have the bottom of the hilt ripped off of it.
Oh no.
Charlie would recognize what this is because he asked about Saba when he saw Casey Jones with it.
Yeah,
That's right. Yes, you'd recognize this as Saba with the head taken off of it.
I don't say anything. I'm just like, my eyes are like really wide under my helmet. Like he can't see my face, but I'm like, oh Jesus.
And he sits there and he tries to he puts 2 hands on it and he makes a big giant circle with it. Nothing happens. He keeps to repeat this process over and over and over again, and nothing happens. And he just says, damn it.
Sir, what are you trying to do?
Usually I can make portals. It could lead me basically anywhere I want to go, even through the multiverse. But apparently I haven't regained all of my strength.
You can travel through the multiverse?
With this I can.
Maybe it's because we're within the walls. Maybe if we go back to the balcony, you can do something.
We might have to get out of Axis Spire entirely. Charlie, where you are now, you can see just the armor on the ground, the helmet, big giant cut down it, just the armor and the helmet of the Magna Defender.
I go over to it. I kneel down. And I put my hand on it, and I pull out the blaster that he gave me, and I look at it, and I look at him. I start crying under my helmet, and I just say, thank you, under my breath. I'm not going to forget you. He stood up for me and gave his life to give us time.
As you do that, you feel like a hand is on your shoulder. You hear the Magna Defender say, very faintly, you have the power to defend. You just don't know it yet. And then he fades away.
Stand up. I'll try.
And Drakkon starts to walk towards you. We probably don't want to hang around here long.
Do you see an exit that's not like from the portal that we came from?
So you'd see that there are stairs leading up on both sides here. There is darkness shrouded behind the throne room, and there's also the stairs that you teleported in front of at the bottom of the thing. So there are a few potential places that could lead somewhere else. But there are none of those icy teleporter paths currently within your vision. But then Drakkon thinks, we might actually be at the bottom now. Something's different. The ice on this floor doesn't seem to be constructed. I think we are at the bottom.
If he had Saba behind his throne, maybe he's got more stuff back there.
I think our best bet is to make sure we get out of here. Whatever he has behind that throne room, it's probably not going to help us any. We could actually just be throwing ourselves into a trap. If we can get out of here and get away from this energy, I might actually be able to activate Saba and get us farther away from here. Somewhere he can't reach us.
That sounds good too. I don't want to go towards any more darkness, to be honest.
We can't continue to getting lucky and keep away from him. As he's looking away from you, he's looking at the other entrances, but then he just asks you, so, when I said you know who I am, I'm guessing you really didn't know, did you?
You're Tommy Oliver. You're the... well, I thought you were the white, green ranger, red turbo, right? Red turbo? That's the last thing I know of.
In a different life.
Yeah, I mean, it's the multiverse, so it's crazy. But if you're Tommy Oliver, then I feel safe with you.
Yeah, that's not what most people say when they're in my presence.
What are you trying to tell me right now?
You would probably know Tommy Oliver, most versions of Tommy Oliver, as one of the greatest rangers in history. I've learned over time that it's best to say these things up front. I'm not the best ranger in Power Rangers history. I'm the worst.
Hey, man, listen. I think that who you are, whether you're not the heroic Tommy Oliver that everybody thinks of, everything I've seen of you has been greatly heroic, and I wouldn't have even gotten as far as I have without you.
That's another question I have. You sent your cat to soothe me in my sorrows. You didn't have to do that. You also didn't have to hand me that morpher. Why do it?
It's more than just survival for me. I don't just see you as a means of escape. I see you as someone who just needs some sort of kindness. I saw that in Magna Defender. I see that in everybody. I saw it in Bulk and Skull, that they just needed somebody to see the good that's still in them and know that there's always going to be hope, even if it's just a little glimmer.
That might be true for some people. But unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. In his right hand, he's going to swing out Saba so quickly, it's probably within an inch or so away from your face. You have some interesting powers. Powers that can make it easy for a man like me to be forgotten. Powers that maybe even help me pacify people if they know me. Powers that could change people's emotions, yet you squander it on helping people you don't even know.
Why would you want to be forgotten? Is it because you want to start over? And if so, why do you want to start over? Is it because you want to get away from the darkness that you've shown? If that's the case, then maybe there is something in you that says there's always a brand new start, or you don't know what tomorrow's going to hold.
I want to start over because I failed. I have to set things right. I can't stop. The emissaries aren't going to stop me. The morphing masters aren't going to stop me. No one's going to stop me this time.
So your plans are still the same?
Not exactly. But the first thing I have to do is I have to stomp out Billy.
I know that you could very well easily kill me, but I have to tell you that I am not going to use my powers for any sort of evil plans.
Well, when I take them from you, they won't be asking. I will do it. And I will use them for purposes you apparently couldn't even fathom.
I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to put my fists up very slowly, like shaking. You trying to take them now? Like nervously.
He lowers it, not from you. Maybe a version of you. Maybe another person who got the powers. but not from you. For now, I owe you. And I'm gonna get you out of here.
My hands are still up like in little fists. But I'm all scared.
I'm not gonna fight you. Not now. But when the time comes, your friends won't be safe. Even the ones they hold dear.
I'm gonna fuck this dude up.
So how are you gonna...
I know I'm not going to, but I'm just gonna like... Ooh.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. I say, Tabby now! To activate her Pacify Others ability. And then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try to kick this dude in the face.
He's familiar to things like this, so once he's pacified, even though I understand why you would do a thing, I wasn't lying to you. I wasn't gonna fight you, or take your powers right now. But if Axe shows up now, there's nothing I can do to save you.
Can I try to rip the Morpher off of him?
You're gonna have to beat the power of the Black Dragon coin.
Jesus, that sounds daunting. Give me back my Morpher, and I'm gonna jump forward. It's on his belt.
And you rolled a 2 skill die, so for 2 turns, he is pacified. You better hope Psycho Blue does not show up during those 2 turns. So in its pacification, you go for the Morpher, and the power of the Black Dragon coin forces you off.
He hears me crying, and I fall back, and I start screaming at him. What's there to gain? Why do you want control over anyone? Why are you doing this? Why does everybody always just want to be a fucking bully? I don't get it.
I don't know about anyone else you faced, or anyone else you've ever seen, but you got to think about it. All of the power any Power Ranger and even any universe, including yourself, have. I can ask you a similar question. Why just be a Ranger when you could be a god?
I just kind of fall to my knees. I just shake my head and I go, "There's no talking to you. You're crazy. I've failed my team. I can't get that Morpher off of you, and I'm never going to see my friends again." I look over to the left and I look at the dark area behind the throne, and just without thinking, I'm going to get up and just sprint back there.
He has higher evasion and higher speed than you, so he's going to cut you off. I mean, pacification means he's not going to attack you. It doesn't say he can't stop you.
Okay.
And he's not doing anything that's dangerous, so by the term set, he's not doing anything that he wouldn't be able to do if he was pacified or not. So he stops you, and he just says, "What are you doing?"
I'm getting away from you.
I said I was going to get you out.
I don't want your help anymore. You're a monster.
You'll die if you don't accept my help.
That's fine. I'd rather die.
If you die, I can't give you back your Morpher.
Shouldn't have given it to you in the first place. My team's never going to forgive me anyway.
Look, I was honest with you, and I'm being honest now.
You're telling me you're going to hunt down other versions of me to steal their power, and you said my friends aren't going to be safe.
If they get in my way, they won't be safe.
We're going to get in your way. I'm going to get in your way.
It sounds like the biggest threat right now is Billy. I plan on stopping him.
I don't know what to do. And I just fall over again and just start crying again. Why is everything so hard? I thought I was supposed to be hugging people. Thought I was supposed to be listening to people. It's too hard. It's too hard. I'm not ready for this. He just sees me like muttering, like in the like my face is like in the ground.
So while you're crying, he picks you up. You aren't able to get out of it.
He picked me up on the back of the neck like a kitten.
He picks you up, throws you over his shoulder. I'm getting you out of here.
I'm just limp. I'm just like crying over his shoulder.
If I have to kill Axe myself to get you out of here, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to go back on that. You didn't have to help me, but you did anyways. And at the time, I thought you knew who I was. But even then, you still helped someone you didn't know. If anyone deserves to live on this planet, it's you.
Can I push myself off of him and just be like, I'm good. I can walk.
Are you going to stay with me if I let you go?
You're going to need both your arms to fight. I'll stay with you. My head's down. Like I won't look up at him.
I'm going to need you on the way. We just need to find a way out of here. So, and with that, we will jump back to the boys outside of the Spire. After defeating the Axe Golem, as y'all start to head your way, y'all are at the front door of the Spire.
Knock, knock, Axe.
I don't know
Fuck.
what floor he could be on. It's a spire.
I mean, I think it would be best to start at the bottom and work our way up.
Or at the top. That could be where Axe has his throne.
Let's just go up. Work our way top to bottom.
I'm just gonna tell Bubbles to start climbing it.
Y'all start climbing, get about halfway, when all of a sudden you are at a balcony. You start to hear footsteps, very speedy footsteps. As they start to gain pace, the spire starts to shake.
Can we check? Can we like look in and see who's there, who it is?
Yeah, I want to see what the fuck's coming at us.
It might not even be coming at us. It just might be walking by, and we happen to be on this floor.
It's running and it's gaining speed, and every footstep, the spire starts to shake more and more.
I'm gonna tell Bubbles to like get under the balcony so he like isn't spotted.
It's kind of too late for that.
Then I'm just gonna. If it's too late, then I'm just gonna hop on the balcony.
Very quickly, y'all don't really see much of it. It's kind of a blur as y'all and Bubbles are knocked off the spire as Bubbles he grabs y'all and holds y'all within his hands as he plummets down from the spire, and Bubbles will take damage. Before y'all can even react, Bubbles is immediately crushed down upon. He lands down, immediately puts his giant foot on on Bubbles' head and just says, "You really thought you could get away from me? You thought you could just escape with your new friends and I wouldn't get a hold of you? I don't care what happens to Drakkon and the other one at this point. You aren't getting away from me, and neither are your friends." And Bubbles' left hand grabs him to hold him in place with his right hand as he lets y'all go to have y'all try to get away.
This is the fucker we want to kill, Javi.
I'm gonna. All right. I'm just gonna climb on his shoulder instead and just like be planted on there as they fight and like. And then when I get an opportunity, fucking like Kratos fucking stab him in the eye or something.
As this happens, the loudest time you've ever heard it, the final boom hits.
Daddy's coming!
It's dead!
Axe is taken a bit back as he steps backwards, writhing in pain. No one should have been able to get through the barrier.
While he's distracted, I'm gonna tell Bubbles to deck him in the face.
Destiny!
Destiny, baby!
Right on the dot, baby. So how do you deck this man?
While he's distracted, Bubbles is finally gonna gather the courage to finally fight back after all the abuse he's taken, and he's just gonna straight up wind up while he's distracted and punch him right across the face.
So you deck him across the face. Through the sky, y'all hear what sounds like a jet as it swoops down within, and it starts to shoot at Axe. These are not meant to do damage. They are meant to detain, to disperse and make him get back. As this jet thing starts firing, he pushes him back, and as this jet starts to come down, it starts to form, and it is formed into the Mega Winger. Y'all start to finally get some air, some comms going across in your helmets, and you just hear, "The barrier's down, and we're here, guys. It's time to finish this asshole."
And suddenly I can see like the auras of my friends and everybody through the walls.
Yep.
I'm just gonna look at him with the the Quasar Saber and point it at him and be like, "Hey, pendejo! Why don't you shrink down and me and you can settle this?"
What? A Blue Ranger? Quasar Ranger? No, that's not possible. No one was able to pull the sword from the stone.
What are you scared for?
He's gonna have to roll a willpower to fight the urge to fight a Blue Ranger one-on-one. Let's see if he can fight the addiction, the urge to not face you one-on-one. Damn, one. So as you say that, he's still in monster form, but he shrinks down to being a large creature, and you can now hop down and face him. But as Hayakawa is just like, "You're not seriously gonna face him alone, are you?"
I'm gonna ask Bubbles to put me down, and I'm twirling the sword in my hand as I get down and walk my way over to him.
As this happens, Axe is like, "It's me and you, but I didn't say anything about your friends." As that is said, 1 and 2. Hayakawa and the monkey can deal with that as you come down. As you
respect on his name, Jay.
Bubbles, the gorilla. Stingwingers start to come around. A few Stingwingers, not a lot. Not that they're going to be here very long, because Axe is going to activate his ability, Better You Than Me. When Axe activates Better You Than Me, basically what he does is suck the life out of something and gain health back. And to gain the amount of health back, he's going to have to take at least 3 of these Stingwingers. Only 2 are within range. I think it has to be within reach. Is it within reach, or is it just... So this one's gone, and this one's gone. And he is now back up to full health. He is also going to turn back into his ranger form. It is you and him, mano a mano. But before we go to Charlie, Hayakawa will tell y'all, Orion came ahead of. He's gonna say, Orion came ahead of us. Did y'all see him?
No, we haven't seen him. We thought he was with you.
Okay. Well, he wanted me to let y'all know they're ready. Your Zords are ready.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, but I was like, shit.
And y'all got...
If that's the case, could I just call my Megazord? Since he's technically sentient, could he fight one of these on his own?
You could call him, and because he's sentient, he would also have the choice to help them form the Megazord without you.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. I'm gonna do that.
Luke hops down off of Bubbles over here. I'm a plop him. And he throws his left hand up into the air and he goes, Pit Viper Zord, to me! The snake touches down and swirls around in the snow and then raises up and is sort of swaying a bit in front of this ice golem.
With that, you have called your Zords. We are now going to cut to Charlie. Charlie, you heard the loud boom. You can feel your friends. And things are getting pretty loud outside.
You hear that right?
Yeah, it seems like Axe is up to something outside. There's a lot of giant things. Gunshots. Heavy objects. I think your friends have called their Zords.
We haven't done that yet. I don't think our Zords have been ready.
Well, apparently they are. And they're outside fighting Axe and potentially his ice army. Maybe Stingwingers.
I've got no say in the matter. What do you want to do?
We need to head outside. You need to get with your friends. It's going to take a Megazord to kill Axe. Y'all can form a Megazord, right?
We're all from different dimensions. I wouldn't even count on that.
What do you mean you don't know? And as he says that, he gets tackled to the ground, skidding across in a blur.
Orion!
As something busts through the wall. He gets tackled to the ground, and he is currently struggling. And within the blur, you really don't see what it is, but you can clearly see Orion is on top of him.
Good luck with that. And I'll run through the hole that he made to go outside.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, Orion, no! And then pull him off. No, that shit ain't happening.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No, I want to know how it goes, though.
Jump
Orion.
out the Spire and call your cat.
We have been memeing about this fight for the past week.
Y'all are gonna be able to see it through my eyes. I'm gonna be like, hey, he's got our morpher.
You're gonna tell him that?
He can probably see.
Yeah, no, he could tell. There's no hiding that.
Drakkon has been honest with me, and when he said that a Megazord is going to be needed to defeat Axe, Orion's got this, I think. And I feel like if my friends are outside, I really want to see them. So I think Charlie in character wouldn't want to watch this man get beaten to death. I'm just going to be like, hey, call me if you need me. I'm going to run outside to the hole. I think that's what Charlie would do.
Okay. If y'all really want to see this, I can do what I was going to do if Charlie was still here, just without Charlie here, if y'all want to see how this goes.
Yeah,
I
just
do.
play it
Yes.
out. Play it out. Like,
Yes.
we want to watch it, but Charlie's he would run away.
If you want to, you can say you didn't say any of that, and as soon as you saw Orion, you left, if that's what you really wanted to do originally. So, without saying that, you see the hole, you can see stuff outside, and you start bolting outside. As Orion tackles Drakkon to the ground, Orion's no longer focused on where you are, but he does tell Drakkon, so it was you. You were the one behind this all along, using Axe as a fallacy. You've been hiding here this whole time, but I found you. And Drakkon's on the ground, just like, I don't think you quite understand what's going on here. Your own ranger was held prisoner by Axe. I'm just here by coincidence. It's just all it is. And Orion is trying to choke him out as he just says, you can't lie to me. I know you. I know what you're capable of. And I will not be letting you live. You won't get out of here alive. The Rangers can handle Axe. I have faith in him. But you're mine.
Maybe I shouldn't have left.
Ryan is going to activate a power. Since Charlie is in here, I don't want to spoil what it does. Just know it beefs him up quite a bit. As Orion is choking him out, Drakkon's grip is pretty strong, and he gets Orion off of him. And Orion is pushed back a little bit. I told him I'd give it back. I just needed it so I could make sure he got out of here alive. But it's not his to give. It's mine. Drakkon starts to notice the finer details of Orion. Yours. I've never seen anyone like you. Anywhere. You bear the symbol of the white tiger. And yet, you're not morphing. And that's when Orion tells him, I don't need to. I've got something else. Orion is going to change, but y'all don't see it because Charlie isn't here. So I'm just going to increase his stats accordingly. Orion, in his changed state, bum rushes Drakkon and reduces Drakkon to 0 HP.
Oh my fucking god.
Does he unmorph and survive with 1 HP then?
Yes, Drakkon unmorphs and survives with 1 HP. Drakkon is unconscious, and Orion, without any effort, without any difficulty, is going to rip his morpher back off of him. And then pick up Lord Drakkon and start to carry him outside, where we will come back to y'all with y'all's fight.
I straight up thought you were just gonna have Orion like stomp on his head.
Yeah, I was
Like,
honestly
please
I was kind of
don't kill
hoping
him!
for it,
Don't kill him!
but at the same time I wanted Drakkon to live, despite the fact that he's like really.
Literally, I'm fuck, because I feel like he could maybe be reasoned with, but at the same time, it's like, is it all just to fucking
I know, Joe.
So Charlie, you come outside and you see a yellow and white giant robot you haven't seen before, a giant gorilla, the gold mammoth Zord, and the pit viper Zord. You see a blue ranger facing off against Axe mano a mano, a couple of stingwingers surrounding him, and 2 giant ice golems.
I'm gonna look at the Blue Ranger and his body type, and I'm gonna go, "Is that? Who is that?" I'm gonna go. Hobby, is that you?
Oh fuck! He distracts me now, and I look over.
Decked in the face.
Yeah, I just get decked in the face now.
How do you like getting punched when you're distracted?
All right, I'm rolling it. You said it, not me.
That was Charlie.
Is that Wolverine?
I'm gonna be like, Charlie?
Nope, he does not hit you. He tries, and you're just like, nah, that ain't gonna work on me.
Oh shit! Sorry, keep fighting. Sorry. How do I get past this golem one behind him?
You do hear Allie trying to call to you through your helmet.
I touch my helmet on the side, and I'm like, Allie! Oh my god, it's so good to hear your voice.
Charlie, you need to call your cat sword and join the others in the fight. You won't be able to do anything at that height.
Okay, I consent to cat arrival. What do I do?
Reach deep within. Your powers tell you how to do it.
I lift up my arm, my left arm, and then I quickly start scratching my knees, and I start going, "Yellow house cat," and then I start going.
We literally made a joke about that earlier.
Yeah.
And then suddenly,
you call your cat, and you are immediately teleported into the cockpit. So it is up to y'all. Hayakawa says, they're all here. Y'all could form the Megazord. Or do y'all want to fight for a little bit in your regular Zords?
Let's see what these babies can do.
Okay. We are going to start the round with the good guys as usual. We are going to start with Javier.
All right, I'm going to use the Quasar Saver on him.
Okay. You have, with this Quasar Saber, an upshift. If you already have one, stack it on and you have advantage.
Nice. I'm going to use a turn of Gorilla Strength to get an extra upshift.
Damn, this was the key to success, though, so this makes perfect sense.
You just see Javier two-hand the Quasar Saber, and you're gonna see he's He's gonna like his arms are just gonna bulk up a bit from using gorilla strength, and he's gonna like swash it down from his shoulder down to his hip. And can I say the element is fire since like he's ice?
Yes, you still only the two elemental damage, but he will get a status effect. He is going to have a disadvantage on his next attack because of the fire that you had posed on him. Is that your turn?
Oh wait, before I do, I'm gonna do like some flippy motions with the sword and be like, "Is that all you got, fool? You were kind of hyped up."
I'll show you hype.
I'm getting in this thing's face. He's just gonna go straight for this thing's neck.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
17.
I hate it here.
You go to swing, you go to bite this thing's neck, and you haven't been in your Zord for a while, Luke. You are rusty, and you know, swords run off physical control as much as they run off mental controls, and your physical did something and your mind did something else, and your snake just kind of did a twirl motion in confusion and really didn't get anything done.
Oh, it's been like 3 years since he's been in this Zord. So he's very out of practice.
Next, we will bring it down to Charlie.
Okay, I never got my driver's license. Let's see here. I drive it around Mega Winger. Oh, what does this button do? I'm actually not going to go that far forward, if that's okay. If I can just be back here. I'm going to put a button that shows like a picture of the tail shooting a laser.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. So you kitty cat move your way around, and you know you're just like, all right, I'm gonna push a button, and you shoot, and you press the button, and sure enough, the tail pops up, and it shoots him with the laser, and he is literally made of ice. Lasers are usually hot, so you will gain an additional damage, making that a total of 3 damage.
Wow!
But it is still standing. But it is that heat from that tail laser does not make it happy.
Bubbles is gonna help out Luke after seeing that attempt.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, could I try to flank it with Bubbles, but like squash, but like accidentally step on the Stingwinger as I
mean, you can just attack the Stingwinger if you want.
No, he's gonna force it. He's gonna grab it by the shoulder, turn it around, and with his other fist, just clock it in the side of the face.
The fucking Ice Golem says some gibberish, and Bubbles is like, "You care to repeat that, you son of a bitch?"
He's just cracking his knuckles.
Fucking, so that's a -3. Hayakawa's gonna move in on this Ice Golem. It's a 17. I gotta remember that. He's going to activate Gravity Slam. Unfortunately, Mega Winger is not able to get a hold of this Ice Golem because a big chunk of its side is missing, or a big top of its shoulder is missing from the tail laser, as he barely misses it as it gets away from his grasp. And now it is the Mammoth's turn. Nope, does nothing. That big chunk that Charlie took out of him is just making him harder to grab.
Sorry, everybody. I keep screwing everything up.
Jesus Christ. Orion solved the problem, okay? He almost killed Lord Drakkon. He could have finished him. Psycho Axe's turn. Axe is going to move away from you over to here. So he gets over here. He activates Better You Than Me, and he gains 2 health back, almost putting him back up to full health. And this Stingwinger dies as he sucks it dry and gains that power back.
You pathetic fool!
And then he's going to come back to you. Psycho Axe is going to activate a wide variety of perks.
What have I done?
He can naturally make 2 attacks. He also has Power Bleed. This Blue Psycho Ranger can spend 1 personal power to amplify his attacks and charge energy until the end of his turn. His successful attacks drain 1 personal power from the targeted Fable. And then he's also going to activate Psycho Assault with another personal power to gain an upshift and a +1 damage on an attack skill this turn. So he gets 2 attacks. Okay. Yeah, the first one's a failure. Also a failure. Did not quite make it. And if he critted, yes, you would probably be dead.
I would have been dead. Or at least at 1 HP.
Seeing he isn't able to hit you, though, before he ends his turn, he is going to activate his Monster Morph. He activates his energy static. It's a natural thing. The Blue Psycho Ranger emits an invisible field of static that counters the Morphing Grid's energies and imposes a -1 penalty to skill test with power weapons or Zord, so you will lose a downshift while attacking with the Quasar Saber.
Well, didn't you say with the Quasar Saber, I just has against Axe, it has an upshift, so technically it would just be no shift at all.
That is true. So yes, no, it'd be no shift at all. And then it's the Stingwinger's turn. He's just gonna move to Axe, get ready to get his life siphoned away the next time Axe does something stupid. It's the Ice Golem's turn. This first one is gonna use Ice Shards. It's a sharp 1. He can use it on multiple targets. It's a 3 per scene. He's going to use it on Luke and Bubbles.
Oh my god!
So
God
he hits
damn.
both of you with the Ice Shard. But the critical, what is the critical thing I wrote down? If it's a critical, y'all are both knocked prone, but you only take 1 damage. Now for this Ice Golem, he's going to do the same thing.
Damn.
Oh my god!
So
man.
you and Hayakawa are both knocked prone, and you both lose 1 HP.
Oh.
Seeing him turn back into a monster, he's just gonna start laughing. He's like, "Really, fool? You had to turn back into a monster against me? What does that say about you?" And then with that, he's just gonna start attacking.
It's like the worst Blue Ranger that Axe could have ever
Literally.
fought. Like, every Blue Ranger has just been a normal dude that he's fought. This guy's like fucking with him.
Still at 25. So that's a failure. Luke, it's now your turn.
I get edge because I'm flanking with Bubbles. Come on. Yeah! I hate it here!
So close, so close.
I burrow myself into the snow and cry. I'm so mad at the dice right now. It's fine.
It is now Bubbles' turn.
Fuck, man.
All right, Charlie, it's your turn.
I use half of my movement to get
Yep.
up. That seemed to work pretty well, except for the fact that it messed everybody up trying to hit him whenever I knocked off that chunk. But I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to tail laser this golem.
All right.
And over the comms, I'm going to be like, guys, we might have to start thinking of something else. Oh my god! We're all failing! It's that part in the episode where we're just like, what are we going to do? Activate
Javier's living his best
Megazord.
life right now.
He's just talking shit as this dude turns into fucking Sauron.
Right.
Hey, guy, I'm gonna call over the comms. I'm gonna be like, guys, y'all want to try that Megazord thing?
Let's see if we can take these two down first. It seems like Javier's doing alright.
And with that, it's now Hayakawa's turn. He's going to get up. He's going to pull out his wing blaster. Yeah, so he pulls out the wing. He sees that Charlie had a great idea. He just missed a second time. So he pulls out his wing blaster and absolutely decimates this ice golem as it gets poured on by lasers, melting it down to its nothing. Now it's the mammoth's turn.
The mammoth, it was originally gonna come over and help me, but like telepathically, I'm like, and I'm like, nah, he's mine. Unlike him, I don't need the extra help. And then I'm gonna send him over here. No, come on, Brick, don't fail me. Brick, his first time ever.
Yeah, physical attacks just aren't working on these things. It is Axe's turn.
Nothing to say to himself for himself.
He's just pissed, bro. You're fucking humiliating the fuck out of him. And by him, I also mean me. Okay, he's going to hit you with his monstrous talons.
Fuck.
Oh,
Fuck. Oh shit, dude. Exactly what he needed. He rolled perfect.
So
Jesus.
you think you're feeling yourself, right, Javier? You're like, oh, you ain't.
Yeah. He's got a big head about
you got a big head
now.
about yourself. And Psycho Blue just says, "Don't lose your cool," or something stupid like that, because he's or no, I know. Actually, that's kind of stupid. I got a slight headache, so he's just like, "Don't get too hot-headed," and he slashes you across the chest with his monstrous talons, doing 2 sharp and cold damage on you. Psycho Blue, with his last thing, is going to activate a contingency action that y'all are unaware of. It's the Stingwinger's turn. Stingwinger's just chilling, just like I was planning to get my life sucked away, but I guess we're here. Not really going to do anything about it. And now it's the Golem's turn. Still has 2 more uses. Now there's 3 people. He's going to target each of these 3 surrounding people with ice shards. Let's see if he can hit another 14. He does not. Y'all have learned your lesson from those ice shards. He does not get it. It's back to the top of the turn order with Javier.
Can I use 2 personal power to do Mammoth Stampede against him? But meaning there's no roll. He's just down.
You could, yes, 2 personal power.
Oh, well, that was the highest. I rolled a d4.
Yeah, so that would be the
four.
highest. So he takes 4 damage, and that activates his contingency action. If he was going to take 2 or more damage, he would activate his grow state. And at this point on his turn, if you aren't in a Zord, he's just going to step on you. And I don't know what I have to tell you what that's going to do to you.
All right, at that point, I'm just gonna hop in, teleport into the mammoth.
Luke, it is now your turn. Psycho Blue is now grown, and he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna probably start kicking ass.
All right, guys. I think it's time to combine our Zords.
Javier is like, we can do that. Fuck yeah!
The mammoth, the snake, and the cat start forming together. So as Luke says that, Charlie, your controls are whisked away from you, and your cat starts acting on its own. Things start happening. Your chair moves behind a wall. You don't know where you are, and then all these loud mechanical noises, and all of a sudden your chair gets moved into a cockpit with your 3 other teammates in a triangle formation.
Guys! And I just want to, get out of my chair and hug them both.
And Hayakawa's over there in the Mega Wing, and he's just like, yes, it's about time they did that.
I'm gonna give him a big hug and lift him off the ground as I do it. Be like, I'm so glad you're safe.
We gotta get serious. There's still a fight on our hands.
Let's kick some ass, guys.
I want to point at Axe and be like, that mean man made me cry and punched me in the ribs and stepped on my face.
At that, Javier's blood is boiling.
Okay, now go ahead and tell us
So
about the
Luke
Megazord
has
stuff.
control, or Joe per se. Luke has control of the Megazord and its actions. I will give y'all time, unless y'all take too long, to decide what actions y'all are going to take as a team, because I feel like it's really good teamwork for y'all to do it. Now, Luke could be a dick and just say, fuck it, we're doing this my way. And in those instances, Luke will have to succumb to the action or the consequence of his actions if he picks the wrong thing. But usually, I want y'all to work as a team in the Megazord, like in the show, to figure out what y'all are going to do and how y'all are going to take Axe down.
I'm just gonna hear Brick be like, we should use the ultimate move, and I'm just gonna look at Luke and be like, Luke, I have an idea. Let me attack this turn.
You were holding your own pretty well earlier, so go for it, whatever it is you've got in mind.
All you see is the fucking tusk just rolling out, fucking coming down, and I'm just gonna be like, Mammoth's charge! Damn, it was worse.
No!
It was so much worse. Well, I'll let you guys decide what to do. It was the first time controlling the Zord.
Yeah, it's our first time all together, and it's gonna be a little janky.
All right, so that's the Megazord's turn. It's Bubble's turn now.
He's gonna straight beat his chest and then fucking kingpin smash the top.
Well, I was gonna ask how you kill him, but that's pretty fitting. So he's dead. You crush Bubbles, kingpins, double hammer fist this thing into ice chunks, and it ceases to move. All right, with that, it is now Hayakawa's turn. Hayakawa's gonna come up on here. He's going to use his. Either way, it's bad. He's gonna use Gravity Smash on or Gravity Slam on Psycho Blue. He's probably not gonna get it. Hayakawa is trying, but it's just not his day again. Axe is going to do his favorite thing. It's 2 cold damage per person. If he's going to target all 3 of you, I need y'all's. I need the evasion of the Megazord, Bubbles, and Mega Winger. So, oh fuck! I can't believe you've done this. So, and Axe's issue of trying to, he's frustrated. First off, y'all form the Megazord. The Blue Ranger is not within his grasp currently. The Gorilla is currently beating his ice army. All this stuff. He's surrounded by two Zords, a Megazord, and the Gorilla, and one of the Fillets just fucking obliterates the fucking Stingwinger below him. It is now the Megazord's turn. Y'all need to decide what y'all are going to do.
For the time being, let's just try to do Monclaw and hang on to our special weapons for later. Fuck!
Did you use advantage?
No, I didn't.
Don't forget to edge this guy.
I'm getting edged by the Power Ranger.
Yes!
Fuck yes! Fuck yes.
Luke kind of takes over the reins, and the left arm, which is the Viper's head, comes and snatches Axe by the throat, and then he just full extends back with the paw claw and just decks this man straight in the
God damn.
nose.
Vicious.
Luke's gonna call out to the other two, like, "We've got this, guys. We just gotta work together."
There you go. So what does Bubble do to this man?
Well, Bubbles is slightly small, is kind of smaller, so he's just gonna fucking Kingpin, but this time he's gonna bring it like sideways down across
Oh
the view.
shit! All right, that's fantastic. I think with that, I think y'all have finally pushed him. He is below half health. With that, it is Hayakawa's turn. He's going to use his Mega Winger Blaster, the Wing Blaster, to shoot this man. I will give him a 22 as well. Literally.
1 HP.
Just barely.
Wait, he's at 1 HP?
So, no, he's not at 1 HP, but damn. So Hayakawa readied his blaster in succession. After Bubbles decked him in the knee, the blue Psycho Ranger trying to recover gets blasted with the Wing Blaster, dealing another 3 damage. He's looking fucked, by the way. He is not looking good, but now it is his turn, and he's going to roll Might. I am sorry for this.
Jesus.
So he's going to grab the Megazord. You thought y'all had it, and he's going to grab the head, which is where the cockpit is, and he's going to hold its head. He's going to pull its head closer and hold it still, so y'all can see his yellow eyes. And he's going to start.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
The
guy
did tell y'all that. So everyone but Charlie.
No, I do close my eyes. I listen to Luke every time.
Well, I'm gonna have y'all roll for it, but Luke and Javier will gain advantage. I'll give all of you advantage since Luke yelled it out. Y'all are gonna need to roll. You'd have to be a quick action. What would be a quick action for this? Let's do survival. Survival. You're rolling off instinct, so survival.
Okay, we're rolling survival.
Yes,
all of us
with advantage. Just keep it at 10.
You just want to leave. Okay.
Goddamn, Luke. Luke's right in the front. And at least he let the others.
So Charlie. Well, first off, Javier passed with flying colors. Javier just nothing. The Blue Psycho Ranger did nothing to him. He can't. The Blue Psycho. Axe cannot hurt Javier's ego. I would say, in fact, Javier kept his eyes open and was unfazed. No, Javier quickly closed his eyes. Javier quickly closed his eyes, got a good success. Charlie barely made it. Luke, however, the one in the driver's seat, the leader who gets to control the Megazord for the most part, all of a sudden, you're not fast enough, and this is probably the most fitting for whoever got this. Luke, you start to hallucinate. At first, you get this little nightmare feel, you get this little bad dream thing, and you're just like, haha, I can shake off bad dreams. Don't mean nothing to me. I get bad visions about my Red Ranger getting murdered by a dude with a shield all the time. This is nothing. So you think that's what it was going to do to you. You don't know you're hallucinating. You have no reason to believe it. Because Psycho Blue reaches deep within your mind as he stares you down. And then you're like, oh, okay, everything seems normal. But then on the ground, you see a potential fate.
No!
You see Psycho Red fighting Orion, and Orion is winning. Orion is beating Marcus down. That is the end.
Oh God!
That is the end of Psycho Blue's turn, and is now back. It is now back to your turn, Luke, who has the controls in his hands.
Javier and Charlie, do they still have their eyes closed?
As far as they know, the Psycho Blue still has a hold on the Megazord. He does let go, but you're not telling them that he let go either.
Do I know he let go?
Yes, you can see him let go, but then your attention is immediately drawn to the fight in the corner.
Luke, go, no! And you feel the Megazord start to move around Hayakawa.
Luke, what the hell are you doing?
He's ignoring all of you. Y'all are gonna have to force him physically at this point.
Can I just punch Luke in the face?
That probably would work.
You're gonna have to roll a critical to knock him out.
Maybe I should do it because I
What
won't kill Luke.
Oh,
immediately.
you could do the pacifying thing.
Well, I don't have that. I don't have that
Oh,
anymore
fuck.
because I used all my personal power.
Yeah.
Wait, would I roll an attack, or would you want me to roll like might or something?
You'd have to knock me out? Like, could he not just,
Could
like,
I not
snap
just, like,
me out
snap
of it
him
by
out of
hitting
it?
me?
You can. So you can do that. I will give you the opportunity to do that. You're just gonna have to roll. You're gonna have to roll nicely.
Fuck, almost.
What's going on?
Luke
So you-
just takes it.
Luke just taked it, just full blown took
Yeah.
it.
Javi just, like, decks Luke in the jaw, and, like, his head snaps to the side, and then he immediately corrects, like it didn't even phase him.
So Luke, what are you going to do?
He's still going over there. He's gonna he's gonna try to grab Marcus to get him to safety. He's like, assumedly there's nothing there,
There is nothing there, but you.
but I don't know that, so I'm
Oh,
like
you don't.
reaching into the snow to like try to grab him.
Can I
And
forcibly take control?
Luke has had Luke. Luke is in the main control. You'd have to get Luke out of the chair. So you reach
That's-
down. You reach down to grab Marcus, and for everyone else, nothing is happening. But as Luke goes to reach down for Marcus, Marcus hits you with lightning from his hands, and Luke is reacting as if the Zord is actually taking damage.
Can I
Luke is just
forcibly
screaming.
can I forcibly constrain or like restrain him?
Yes.
All right. Can I would I roll might for that or brawn?
Puffy, I'd also open my eyes if you said so.
Fuck. Oh my god, we're failing everything. Now this is when Javier starts failing everything. All right.
Luke is, I mean, not Luke. Charlie's just like.
Charlie
kind of
just hasn't been
screaming.
doing anything. I'm the only one trying to stop Luke.
Puffy, my eyes are closed and I'm holding tightly to my chair. No one's told me to open my eyes yet.
Yeah. No one's told him
Nah,
anything.
All right. I'm gonna
I
be
mean,
like,
you
I
hear
don't know.
Luke screaming
Yeah,
in
I
agony.
figured the yelling would get him
Yeah,
to open
But
his
Luke
eyes.
said close your eyes and is screaming, but I
I'm
don't.
gonna be like, Charlie, fucking help me!
I open my eyes and I look and I see Javi. I'm like, what's happening?
I don't know. Luke sees something that we don't see.
I look out the cockpit and we're like, what, the Zord is like freaking out and shaking like it's getting electrocuted or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not getting hit with anything.
Nope.
I look at Luke and I just I'm just gonna scream snap out of it. Does that do
Words
anything?
do have power.
You would roll a persuasion check, and it would have to be
Against my willpower.
against Luke's willpower, which is a 15. We're gonna say I'm not gonna get. It's gonna be a 15. It's gonna be a 17. Come on, Charlie. Right on the dot.
Success.
Right on the dot.
Quit trying to punch people and just talk them out of it.
So, Charlie, what do you exactly say to Luke to get him to snap out of it?
I scream, snap out of it! You're our leader!
And Luke, all of a sudden, it stops.
The fight's over there!
What?
I'm gonna punch Luke again. No, I'm like,
So, as you say that, Charlie, and everyone, as Luke gains consciousness, the Megazord does turn back, and Axe is walking menacingly towards Bubbles.
Did Hayakawa do anything?
Hayakawa didn't know what the fuck you were doing and was trying to fight Axe while you had this horrible vision.
all
But
right.
it is now Bubbles' turn. Bubbles, Axe is walking up on you menacingly.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, Bubbles. You try to hit Axe, he just takes it as he continues to walk towards you. Hayakawa is going to move here, though,
Finally.
to get edge. Try to gravity slam. Nope. Psycho Blue is no longer paying attention to anyone else. He wants Bubbles. So, it is now Psycho Blue's turn. He's going to use Blast of Cold. Now, since Bubbles is a water elemental, if this crits, Bubbles will be frozen.
Oh,
Bubbles just barely makes it. All right. It is now back to the top of the turn order with the Megazord.
Luke is pissed. He takes the sword. He's got the sword, right? And he like shink and charges Axe with like the sword up like by his head. You know what I'm talking about? Like that kind
Yeah.
of charge. He's gonna like try to run him through with it. Oh my fucking god!
You'll
Can we
have
please
story.
use story point? Can we use a story point?
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
God, we use so
I
many
want to
story
kill
points
this
in
man.
Don't forget, y'all have Charlie's ultimate move.
Oh, that's right.
All right, Bubbles, your turn to swing on this man.
Let's
It's a
do
critical
it.
success.
Them's the rolls. Them's the rolls. Bubbles.
Oh, okay, wait, does this kill him?
It might, because
Happen.
you know what? Destiny.
Yeah, because Bubbles has been his.
Yeah.
He didn't have a critical. I didn't add anything for critical success, so I can literally do whatever I want with this. And I think for this, you're gonna do an extra 2 damage, which is 1 over what you need to kill him. So how does
All right.
Bubbles? How does Bubbles kill Psycho Blue?
Bubbles is gonna sweep like just grab him by the ankles and sweep him out from under him, and then he's just gonna get on top of him and then just start fucking wailing on his face, and then at one point just like grabbing his head and like just twisting it, in an attempt to tear it off in pure anger, and then with it he's just gonna toss it and then roar.
Axe is dead. Y'all killed Axe. Y'all stand there in victory as Bubbles has his moment of triumph.
Javier beats his chest alongside Bubbles, and as his heart soars with joy for him, like, as he also got to see his memories.
And the Spire. Y'all hear Orion say over the comms, "Good job. It's glad to see you come together to defeat a villain such as that. But we still have one more we have to take care of." And y'all look down at the Spire at Orion as he's carrying a man over his shoulders.
Who is that?
Drakkon.
I'm gonna look at Charlie like, you know him?
He's a bad Tommy Oliver.
Who the fuck is Tommy Oliver?
You researched Turbo.
Oh no! Oh, that's right, he did. My bad. I forgot about that. I forgot he researched Turbo.
Does Luke get anything?
Not yet. Orion asks y'all to come down out of your Zords.
Yeah.
So just move the Zords and stuff back. Bubbles can stay right there.
Can we jump down like they do in the show?
Yes.
I didn't know I could land that. See, Tommy, I could have jumped out of that tower. Not really.
So
Way high.
y'all get down as Orion lays a man's body off his shoulders. Or he's about to. He's talking to y'all and he says, "We still got this man to take care of." And then he gets elbowed from the back of his head. And the man manages to get the morpher off of Orion again.
What?
As he gets up and says, "Black Dragon!"
What the
And
fuck? Is this really happening?
he gets away from Orion, and Orion immediately just turns to him and says, "We know how this happened the last time. You won't be getting away from me. And this time I won't make the mistake of letting you live."
I'm gonna like telepathically tell Bubbles to grab him while he's busy with Orion.
Okay. While you do that, Luke, your head starts to hurt again.
Luke kind of clutches at the side of his head. Fuck, not this again.
And you get a more clearer vision. You had the same vision you've been seeing. Marcus puts you down. Someone comes in, more ferocious, more dangerous. You can hear the words of death in your head. The fate of a killer, fulfilling destiny. And as the shapes start to form, they start to go in and out, different shapes, different weapons, all bladed, all shields. One of them starts to become clear. This one actually has a head shape to it. It's not just smooth and round like the rest. It's got a very similar head shape to the man before you. As it starts to, the vision starts to hone in on that shape. Almost, potentially. Still changes between other things and all these different silhouettes, but this one starts coming up a lot more often. And you can kind of see the silhouette match with the shape of this overall ranger as it starts to fight Marcus in your head, and then the vision ends.
Luke sways a bit where he's standing and stumbles forward.
I'm gonna tell Bubbles to make sure he catches him. And I'm just gonna walk up to Luke and see as he's doing that.
Bubbles. So you tell Bubbles to do that, and then Drakkon is going to intimidate Bubbles with a specialization against Bubbles' willpower called I Am Lord Drakkon. Wow, okay. And he fails.
He fails. I catch him. He is in a really weakened state.
So Bubbles now has Lord Drakkon in his arms, in his hand, as he's holding him. And Orion
Get that morpher off.
Orion says, I plan to do that. And he goes and gets the morpher back off again. And Drakkon yet again demorphs.
I'm gonna give like a telepathic high five to him and be like that's my boy.
You're Tommy Oliver?
A version of Tommy Oliver. But I don't go by that name anymore. Haven't in a long time. And Orion starts to turn, seeing that Bubbles has him in a grip. There's no way he's getting out now. Orion holds in his hands his morpher, tainted now with the power that was used to shatter the multiverse. And he looks at Charlie. He says, I'm asking you. I'm begging you to tell me that he stole this from you.
I didn't know who he was, and I handed it to him. It wasn't exactly a trick, but he needed it to... He told me he needed it for us to escape. It's a little bit of trickery. It's a little bit of dumbness on my part, but he didn't outright just steal it.
He helped you get out?
He did. I wouldn't have made it out of there if it wasn't for him.
I can't put the blame on you. This is my fault. I never told you. The reason why I didn't tell you is because he was supposed to be dead. There were no traces of him left after the Shattered Grid event.
Shattered Grid?
He's the one you mentioned that broke the morphing grid before Billy, right?
Yes, Lord Drakkon. Not only did he break it, he was able to fight 3 of the most powerful beings known as the Emissaries on a 1v3 and won. I never told you because I thought he was dead. But I can't get mad at you for the lack of knowledge that I didn't give you yet again.
I mean, I still have personal responsibility. I knew that something was up. Part of me thought he was just part of Axe's trickery, and a part of me didn't want to hand him the morpher at first, but I didn't. Tabby wasn't able to read him, and I just felt like time was running out.
You're alive, though, because of...
Yes. And also I'm alive because of the Magna Defender gave his life as well. I had some friends in there, and I show Orion that I have the blaster that turns into the sword.
I don't understand.
I don't know what's going on. He the way he talked to me said he still had his plans to be a god, but his actions said something different. Like he does have good in him, but I don't know.
Orion takes the Black Dragon power coin out of the morpher, and he walks it back to you and hands it back to you, Charlie.
Are you sure?
No, not at the moment. Not entirely. But I can't blame you. You were in a tough situation. If you were really imprisoned here at Axe's Spire, and that's all your only way out, I don't blame you for what you did.
He's got a sense of honor. And if he has a sense of honor, then maybe he's got good in him.
And then Orion's going to turn around back to Drakkon. That begs the question. Drakkon, the Drakkon, wouldn't have done that. You didn't have to save him. You could have left him as soon as you got your power back. I know you could have. So why wait? Why help him at all once you got what you needed? And Drakkon just looks at him. He had this cat thing. He didn't have to calm me down, make me feel better about myself. At the time, I thought he knew I was Lord Drakkon. He didn't. He also didn't seem like he knew what he had gotten himself into. Like someone didn't tell him the full details. He didn't deserve to die here. Not like that. Make no mistake. If you don't kill me now, I'm going to destroy Billy and then continue with my path. Orion is taken a bit back. You don't want to join him? Why would I join him? Whatever it is he's doing, especially after what Charlie told me. Instead of trying to be God, he's just trying to play God with the grid. You can't bend the grid at your will like that. He's going to get us all killed if he isn't stopped. So someone has to.
If you kill him, then what? You become God?
After the grid fixes itself, I'll go back on my path of setting things right.
What the fuck does that even mean?
You ever make a mistake? You ever do something and it costs you everything? Everyone you loved.
Yes.
Then you should know how it feels to want to fix it.
Doesn't mean fucking breaking the grid.
Not breaking it. Bending it. I made mistakes before, and now I know better. Billy doesn't. He's not going to stop. He's going to get everyone killed. And it'll be too late to fix anything, but I can stop him. I can set it right. And this time, I won't fail.
I'm just gonna whisper in Orion's ear. I'm gonna be like, just say the word and I'll have Bubbles crush him.
Orion, fidgeting over the black dragon coin. What do you want right now? I want to get out of here. I want to leave. Gain some of my strength back. And then take the fight to Billy. One way or another, he's got to go down soon. For what I understand about you, you lost something too. And Orion, still mulling over that coin. Javier, you don't say anything to Bubbles. Bubbles just lets him go instantly.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm gonna ask Bubbles, like, what are you doing?
Bubbles says in his head, I'm listening to my father.
I'm gonna remember. Javier's gonna remember that he said the lights about the lights of Orion and like the swords. He's gonna be like, all right. And he's gonna be like, Orion, and then I'm gonna ask Orion, like, what are you doing?
I'm not going to kill him, but I'm not going to save him either. He's gonna flick the coin at Drakkon, and Drakkon instantly catches it. We aren't taking you anywhere, but we aren't exactly gonna let you leave. You'll have to figure that out on your own. And for what I can tell, due to the grid readings, you got a whole other monster on this universe to deal with. One that may not let you escape. And if you got captured by them, your chances of getting out of here are very slim. Even with Saba.
Are you talking about Virgil?
Yes. We didn't detect Virgil's readings when we first appeared here because he wasn't in this dimension. This universe, but a layered dimension of this universe he created himself with his power. At some point, Virgil emerged through his dimension with an immense power. Something that if Virgil were to be here, the only way to win would be to have y'all leave and have me fight him until y'all could get out of this universe.
He might be on his way. I heard Axe call him a couple of times.
He's not moving. He stopped on Earth and he stayed there. Apparently, he may have left Axe to die on his own due to his own vices. It's usually how it goes for Axe in most universes. But as it comes to you, Drakkon, we aren't going to kill you, but we aren't exactly going to save you if Virgil comes for you. You'll have to find your own way out of this universe if you plan to destroy Billy.
And after he, so we're just gonna let him fucking go. What's to say that he's not gonna fuck shit up as soon as he kills Bill? Fuck my head.
Something's not right. I don't know what it is. Maybe you're finally cracking. You may think you want to be God, maybe you don't want to be God anymore. But even then, at your current state, I can tell you have the power of the Zeo crystals within you, and at least 3 other morphers and ranger abilities morphed into yourself. And even then, you were no match for me. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, if you get in my team's way again, you will die. And Drakkon just kind of looks at him. Charlie, this whole time Drakkon has been a solid person. But in this moment, Drakkon does not look so sure. And Drakkon, coin in hand, I've never seen anything like you. I've seen things similar to you. I can tell a bit now more about yourself and who you are. But you carry the white tiger symbol. And it all makes sense now. You caught me off guard. Maybe you'll catch me off guard again. But for now, I'll stay out of your way. But it won't be for long. Give me time, I'll become more powerful all over again. And Orion, you can see his eyes squint. And if that's the case, may the best man win.
And be like, Orion, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean best man win? What if he actually becomes God?
He won't.
There's only one God, and he doesn't dress like that. I'm just kidding. I don't say that Captain America bullshit.
And at this point, Hayakawa comes up and he's just like, you really can't be serious. After everything you told me about him in the first instant, you're really just going to let him walk away?
I think the fact that I'm standing here is proof that this might not be the same Drakkon that he's telling you about.
The multiverse is a big place. We will find out if he's truly the Lord Drakkon. He's not the first one, but many didn't make it too far out of their universe and died. Eventually destroyed by things more stronger than them. Ranger teams, all that. There was only one who actually managed to complete his objective. This may or may not be him. I guess we'll have to see if you are the Lord Drakkon. And then Orion turns to y'all. We're going back to the ship. I know things have not been the best, potentially, for y'all. I'm sorry I let y'all walk into this trap. But that being said, I will be debriefing each of you. It's time to head back. And with that, Bubbles lays his hand down and Orion steps in his hand and motions y'all to come with him. Y'all get in Bubbles' hand. The Megazord turns back to all the each individual Zords. Hayakawa gets in his and flies it back into space, attaching to the bottom of the alley. Y'all watch in the distance as y'all are in Bubbles' hand, as Drakkon is still standing there. And then is anyone keeping an eye on Lord Drakkon as y'all leave?
I'm out there on him.
Luke's not on Bubble.
So you aren't getting them.
Luke's just standing there.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back for Luke, thinking that maybe the headache is like debilitating.
Well, if Luke isn't gonna move, Orion's gonna step off Bubbles and approach Luke. What's the matter?
You're just. Are we just going to? I don't fucking know anymore.
To put it into a better understanding, if you ever brought Marcus on my ship and told me that he was going to the good side, I'd give you that chance. Charlie vouched for him. I can feel it deep within Charlie that Charlie genuinely feels like this. He's got some honor into him. And he does not seem to appear to have the same direction that the Lord Drakkon had. There's a chance it may not be him. Back in my youth, I would have killed him without a second thought. But Dulcina taught me that sometimes you have to give people a chance. And then if they fail, then you kill them. I'm doing what she would want me to do. And I would do the same if you brought Marcus on my ship. I would believe you. But if it turned out to be wrong,
You'd throw me out the airlock.
I would throw Marcus out the airlock.
Luke just shakes his head and walks away over to Bubbles. He's just watching Drakkon as he does so.
Okay. Javier, are you actually going to do something with Drakkon?
I'm gonna put my hand down and be like, thanks for saving my friend. Like, he means a lot to me.
I owed him. He saved me.
Like, I don't know what your plans really are, but in this moment, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I hope to God Orion's right about you.
Drakken's just going to start walking away at this point.
Alright.
So you all get in Bubbles. You and Aikawa. Is anyone still watching Drakkon as y'all leave?
No.
Oh, Luke's watching
Yeah,
him the entire time.
Charlie's been watching him.
He can't quite see what he does, but he pulls out that sword. He messes with it, does a big circular motion. A portal opens up and he steps right through it. Y'all are carried back to the top with Bubbles. And then Orion pings Allie to have everyone teleported. And then he looks up. He touches one of Bubbles' fingers. For the first time y'all can swear, y'all see the mask's eyes fully shut before y'all are teleported. And he just says, "I'm so sorry, my son. The pain you went through, I can see it. I can feel it. You couldn't save them. But that's all right. You're going to come with us now. You'll be safe. I won't let anything else happen to you. Not like that." And as he says that, a giant portal opens up, and Orion looks to Javier. He's too big to be on the ship, but I have access to a pocket dimension. He'll be happy there. It's free, open jungle. He'll like it. He'll stay there until you need him.
I'm gonna be like, that sounds cool. Can I go with him too?
You can visit him at any time you wish, but he needs to rest and get the first good sleep he's gotten in a long time.
So how do I go there? How do I call on him?
You'll call him through the transmorpher. He'll appear through the portal and come to your aid when you need him. If you ever wish to visit him, all you have to do is ask.
I'll do that.
I trust that you won't put him into too much danger.
Hopefully not anything we can't handle.
Bubbles steps through his dimension, the pocket dimension created by Orion, and y'all are teleported back on the ship.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna give Charlie a big hug and again be like, I'm so glad you're safe.
I'm so glad I get to see you guys again. That was awful. I'm not gonna tell y'all everything that happened just yet, but yeah. Some of the stuff I said when I pointed to Axe was just like a little bit of. I have to change my under.
Luke is gonna squeeze Charlie's shoulder and just smile at him.
I need to take a shower because I don't know if y'all I had an accident and I just leave. I walk away from everybody and I just go to the room where I got my clothes.
Nobody stops you.
I'm gonna call Allie.
Hello!
Yeah, just be like, God, Allie, you have no idea how good it is to see you and hear you.
It's good to see you guys too. I don't know what happened down there, and yet again, we're sorry we led y'all into a trap. Orion feels pretty bad about it. He's beating himself up about it, honestly. But there's no way we could have detected it. Surrounded in that darkness.
I'm gonna be like, if it wasn't for the fact that Charlie got kidnapped and I got to see Bubbles' memories of him going through what he did, honestly, that would have been a blast. But he shouldn't beat himself up about it. How could he have predicted this?
Well, I mean, that's true. I tried to tell him that, but It's just how he is, and y'all could have died.
Trust me, Allie, that's not the first time I could have died.
I believe it.
And then I'm gonna be like, man, I'm starving, and just walk off to find the freezer with the shark in it.
Before you walk off, you notice that your sword is off your back, and Orion has it in his hands as he's looking it over.
I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, yeah, like that's the sword you made, right?
Yes, the Quasar sabers.
It was really handy in fighting X.
I'm sure it was. Haven't seen one in so long. It's good to see that it's in good hands. Someone like you.
At that, like, how you don't see it on his face, but inside he's like, oh my god, like he said something good to me for once.
It's no surprise that this sword will choose you with your strength that you have. It's a good fit for you, unlike the other thing you have. And he's gonna hand you the sword back.
And he's gonna put it back on his back and be like, oh, this, and then he's gonna like flick his wrist and like call him the White Dino, but he's gonna be like, I completely forgot about this.
That's good. Maybe you won't think about using it again for a while.
Like with Bubbles around, probably not.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Lila's in the kitchen.
Lila's burning something in the kitchen.
Such a Lila thing to do.
She's doing the bad thing. She's doing it on purpose.
She ain't real, that's why.
Christ.
Oh shit! And speaking of not real, hold on. Give me a second.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm gonna wait until that's handled.